Hi, this is Greg with Calendar Snack. Thanks for stopping by and spending some time with us today. What I am going to review with you is a piece of technology we've built on AWS called the Simple Invite Service. It works with the AWS Simple Email Service. Essentially, it is a calendar invitation engine that's built on top of AWS technology for you to send calendar invites at scale using the AWS stack. So that said, here's a little purview into what the stack looks like. This automation process is super easy to use, and this stack would actually be in your account under a CloudFormation template we'd help you install. So that said, under step one, getting data into your SES account, or essentially your AWS account, would be use create@calendarsnack.com. That would send the data to your account. Now, again, this domain and calendar invitation email address can be anything you want in your own domain. We would help you with that. We have some ideas around that. But essentially for this demo is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 just take a few seconds. So meaning that our automation technology does all the work in the background using this AWS stack here. Now I'm not going to get into 1 through 6 in the automation process, but when you create that calendar data for us using the automation technique create@calendarsnack.com, it injects this data into an S3 bucket. Essentially, if you think about how the simple email service works, it's beautiful in that what is behind that account is an S3 bucket. We take that data, we extract, transform, and load it, and immediately you're able to send test calendar invites to anybody you know or an internal team. You can use the upcoming landing page or a direct small bulk list if you want to send calendar invites to test. You gather the data here in 4, and then under the data in 4, when you look at 5, from 4 to 5, you can actually get explicit details on who signed up for the events. So that said, and a more detailed slide, what is a simple invite service? So again, I kind of went through that at a high level. At a detail level, I'm not going to get into it, but every time that you send the calendar invite data to the simple invite service, that data is injected into a dashboard. That dashboard is the SIS, Simple Invite Service AWS stack. You'll see it there. And I'm going into a screenshot demo of what I did for the Colorado Rockies. I essentially injected all the Colorado Rockies games, 194 of them, into the AWS account by simply using the create@calendarsnack command. So this here is how I create, test, update, and cancel the calendar invite in the Calendar Snack dashboard with the calendar client, or in this case here, my calendar client. So take a peek at it, Colorado Rockies at outlook.com. That was my calendar email client name, and I sent it to create@calendarsnack.com. You can see that injected into the account, and then I have a chronological display in my dashboard of all the Colorado Rockies games. So I elaborate that here again. The important thing is that the calendar client itself becomes the create and update engine. So if I edit any of this information, it is in a workflow using our SIS Simple Invite Service stack in AWS Automation, and actually updates all the data in your dashboard and anybody downstream that has actually received a calendar invitation. That is pretty cool. So that said, how to auto configure an upcoming landing page in 2 minutes. Super simple for demo purposes. I did some screenshots here. I essentially elaborated the page, did some add images using our add image logo and background engine. And you can see here, this is how this turned out. This is for testing and also for mid-market business. We have over 4,000 people that have used and tested our technology across many different countries and many different languages, and it works quite well, and we encourage you to go get a Calendar Snack. This configuration just takes a few minutes, and basically how it works from the customer point of view. So the customer point of view downstream to one of your customers, if I was to put my email address in the upcoming invite page engine, I actually received the calendar invites, and I've elaborated 3 or 4 here to kind of give you a good understanding what happens. This data now is collected in the calendar invite engine on the simple invite service in AWS, and we track the individual reports for each individual account for the events themselves. So all these individual stabs in the database, if you own DynamoDB, have an API that's out there listening to gather the account information from these individual calendar clients. And you can see that the various accepted, attentive, or no action is gathered here in a very detailed way. So how auto updating works is back to anything that I do in a calendar client registered with the UID in the dashboard of the calendar snack itself is auto updated anytime I make any changes downstream to the data on the dashboards themselves, the upcoming landing pages, and then anybody that has been sent the calendar invitation. So this process here is a whole bunch of AWS magic with the messaging system, and it works quite well. Again, we have 4,000 customers that have used it and given us really grand feedback. We've built the product backwards from the customer community. So that said, this is kind of a wrap up. I kind of walked through this before. From the customer's calendar client to the simple invite service that runs in AWS using the simple email service, we send calendar invitations at scale. We encourage you to use it as a test engine, and then for you to actually use part of your SES email list and send out calendar invites to marketing events that are time-based. So I talked a little bit about how the upcoming service works in the upcoming events landing page. I'm not getting into details there. I'll leave you with the deck. And then this is kind of the end of the demo itself. You'll see from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6. We have the backend service here with AWS, and then we have a front-end Vue.js app that talks to the API kit that we give you here for the simple invite service. You see the create command hits the API gateway. From there, we generate the events in the AWS dashboard here in number 3. Number 4, we generate an upcoming landing page in a matter of seconds. From there, you can basically, in a matter of 2 or 3 minutes, be out sending test invites and then gather the data here in number 6. So 1 through 6 only take a few minutes using our example application, calendarsnack.com. And then we have some FAQs there for you. I have the calendar keys, if you will. The Calendar Snack API documentation set involves a bunch of keys that you can use. And then I encourage you to contact me if you have any further questions. Thanks for stopping by and checking us out here on April 17th, 2024.